first warrior from MMA Personal Training. Please welcome Joshua Cervantes.
Yeah, so we got Josh coming out here. You know, Josh, my man Manaka, you know, he came out here and almost knocked my boy out in the first round. The guy's got fast hands. The guy comes to scrap. He's got good wrestling. He's got good grappling. Comes from a great team at MMA Personal Training. You know, those guys, same house as Anthony Da Silva, the 155 Epic champ here. Little April Fool's joke had me and Anthony going at it in a fight in Tahiti for a Lamborghini, actually. And, you know, so their team knows how to get it done. Their head coach, Malik, you know, the guy has been around, pro fighter as well. So, you know, it's a legit team, and the guys know how to scrap. They're well-rounded. They're ready to go. And, you know, I've seen Josh in multiple fights, so I'm excited to see what performance he has to put on tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I watched a few of Josh's fights. He's got a 1-3 record as of now, but he has a couple split decisions. He could be easily at 500 right now. One area for improvement I'm looking for is that Josh is able to posture up when he secures the takedown and lands some ground and pound. A lot of times he just settled. It didn't seem like he was very comfortable landing those big shots. So if he's able to do that.
And let's welcome his opponent into the epic cage. From Castro MMA, give it up for Joey Barthelemy.
Yeah, next up we got Joey. He's got a 1-2 record. Just fought about a month ago. So in securing his first win as well. Joey's one of those guys, he comes out guns blazing, no feeling out type of fighter. Uses heavy punches to enter for takedowns and puts aggressive pace right when the bell sounds. This fight will be a new experience for both of them, though, because they both have 3 fights. So that means 3-minute rounds and no shin pads. The longer rounds allows them to take their time more if they choose to do so. Also, without wearing shin pads, it makes kicks hurt a little bit more. You also can't let them fly as much. It also makes it easier in the scrambles, you know, and then losing grips on takedowns, like trying to finish a single, it's really easy to like let that leg slip out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, hey, man, it looks like we got 2 guys that come out guns a-blazing. We've had 2 first-round finishes tonight. We might be in store for a third.
Absolutely. I mean, Cervantes and Barthelemy, I mean, both these guys, they throw putazos, as they say, you know, heavy hands. You know, I'm really looking forward to these 2 guys scrap. We got Carlos Kramer coming up.
All right, epic fighting family. This next bout is 3 3-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Introducing your first warrior. Fighting out of the red corner, this man, the mixed martial artist with a record of 1 win and 3 losses. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighs a ready 143.7 pounds. Representing MMA Personal Training, give it up from Joshua Cervantes. And his opponent, fighting out of the ADU Geeks blue corner, this man, the mixed martial artist, who stands 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighs a ready 145 pounds, with a record of 1 win and 2 losses from Castro MMA. Give it up for Joey Barthelemy. Your referee is the crippler, Chris Lieben.
Shout out to the OG, Chris the Crippler Lieben. He's going to be refereeing this fight, future Hall of Famer. We're about to get underway with our 3rd fight of the night. These boys look ready and to go. They're locking the cage, and here we are.
Is there a more badass name than the Crippler?
Absolutely not. Look at the seriousness on these boys. Ooh, and Joey looks to clinch up.
Yep.
Maybe he's looking to take a little bit of steam off Cervantes' punches. I mean, that's a great way to do it. That lactic acid starts to build up.
Yeah. Josh gets doubles underhooks, though. He seems to be controlling the position a little bit. Now we're pummeling.
They look very aesthetically evenly matched. You know, it's interesting to see who's the stronger fighter.
Yeah, and they're both well balanced, you know, so this fight really could go any way.
The one thing that they probably have never experienced before is these are 3-minute rounds. So those 2-minute rounds are like a quick sprint, but the 3-minute rounds actually start to go a little bit longer than expected.
Oh, that extra minute makes a huge difference. As soon as I walked into my first title fight, I felt it, you know.
Absolutely. You know, with that chain link fence, he needs to bump and rip against the fence.
Yeah.
Doing it against the mats, for an example, it doesn't really get the same slingshotting effect. But if you want to take somebody against the cage, you got to rock them back and then rip their legs forward.
Yeah, both these guys are obviously pretty experienced in their clinch work and cage work, so, you know, this is nothing new to them.
That was a solid cup shot, but it was missed by the referee.
You know, sometimes guys overreact to him and sometimes guys underreact to him.
Just goes to the toughness of the fighter. Nice little knee to the body. Ooh, that one didn't feel
Almost
good.
looked like it came low as well.
I mean, with halfway through the round, this still up for grabs. I mean, both these guys can go. They need to separate and throw punches right now.
If one of them lands a takedown or does some damage here, you know, they could seal the round very easily. Oh, there we go.
Cervantes could snap him down right now if he wanted to. And now they're feeling each other out.
Yep, they're finding that range.
Joey looks a little stiff right now. Cervantes looks a little looser.
He does. Hands are inside. Cervantes finding that range.
Yeah, Joey needs to feint a little bit more. He's throwing bombs. Ooh, that left hook just missed. He's looking for the haymaker.
Just an inch too far behind the ear there.
Joey's also dropping his right hand when he goes to throw his left. Ooh, nice double change.
For a double.
He needs to bump and rip. Ooh, and he finishes the takedown. With 45 seconds to go, he's looking to secure this round.
Yeah, it's a great takedown. He's got him on the cage as well, too, so he's going to have some easy control there.
Yeah, he needs to get a figure 4 on those legs, Khabib style. Oh, he's got a wrist strap on the hand closer to the fence.
We'll get a look at Joey's, jiu-jitsu here. He seems to stand up on the cage just okay.
The knee to the body is right there if he throws it.
Oh, he likes to go to the inside thigh.
Nice.
I like that, dude.
Good head position on Joey. Ooh, another cub shot.
Oh, he wants to drop for that double again. If you're relentless on the wrestling, dude, the judges know it. That pays off. Oh, he wants to get it again.
Wow. Ooh, and he finishes the takedown with a couple seconds to go and lands big shots. Nice round with Cervantes.
A little bit of talk at the end. I like it. They both wanted that round, and Josh took it, you know?
Absolutely. These guys, it's interesting to see what kind of instincts are going to take over. Are they just going to grapple the entire match? Or are one of them going to change their approach? So here we got Josh in on a single. They turn around from the cage. They're both pummeling quite well. There was a little bit of opportunity for knees to the body. There was quite a few knees to the cup as well. You could hear it all the way from the internet or the announcer booth.
And then Josh finishes a beautiful double leg here.
Just to finish
really the turning point of the round.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, especially when you finish the double and the round's very even and then he postures up and throws some punches, Josh definitely won that round, at least in my opinion.
The way they ended that round with a little bit of heat between each other, I expect them to come out throwing this round.
You know, for me personally, that's wasted energy. You know, I mean, I understand the competitive nature of it, but, you know, especially being this is your first time with 3-minute rounds, I'd be saving everything I caught for the fight.
Always easy to say when you're out here.
Absolutely. Getting ready to show down again. A couple feints out of both of them.
Josh takes the center of the cage.
There you go. Nice feints. Joey's definitely telegraphing his punches a little bit more. He's swinging for the bleachers, so when if those things land, it's a wrap. Josh controlling the center of the cage. Ooh, and he gets in on the double again. He's definitely looking to grapple this fight, as you've seen.
Joey's looking for that chin grab. It's a great takedown defense, not utilized quite enough in MMA as far as I'm concerned.
This is one of the most exhausting type of fights that an MMA fighter can have. from the fans at home that have never fought before, I mean, it might not be a fan favorite type of fight, at least at the moment, but it is exhausting, and you have no idea how hard it is to throw punches after you've been grappling like this for an entire fight.
Absolutely, and then you mix that with these guys' first 3-minute rounds. I mean, you got a recipe for someone getting tired first.
And he finishes the
break.
takedown. Nice takedown. Joey's not consenting to the takedown, though. He needs to get a wizard, or Cervantes is going to run to his back.
Yeah, Joey moves into a little half butterfly guard here. You know, doesn't give up a bad position off that takedown, which is always important.
I also like the head positioning. You know, if Cervantes was keen to it, he could figure four one of Joey's legs, and then he wouldn't be able to get up. He's looking for that wrist trap again that he briefly got in the first round.
He's got good pressure on the top of that left shoulder, so, you know, it seems like Joey still is able to get up. So we'll see how Josh handles this.
We're about the halfway mark of the round right now, and Cervantes is controlling so far. See if Joey can turn around.
Yeah, Joey needs to push the head down and continue with it, but it looks like Josh is just able to get it up.
And right now is about the time that those forearms start to get real, real heavy. That knee to the body is also there, too.
Yeah, we spent a lot more time in the clinch than I think any of us thought we would be this fight. So, you know, it's interesting to see these guys working there. They all look very comfortable.
Yeah, Joey needs to get a little bit more action. He's lost his first round almost for sure. Now he's got, you know, with his back against the fence, he doesn't want to consent to this position.
Yeah, he's one takedown down as well as this round. So, you know, if he goes down 2-0, he's going to need to be looking for that finish in the third.
The easiest way to get yourself off the fence is continuing your hips moving. Bump stepping is the boxing term for it. But either that or using a knee shield, kind of like you would in half guard.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are working in here. A lot of them are throwing knee to the bodies, and we'll see if Josh can work his way to the back here. If he can duck under that left hand, he's going to be in a good position for a good takedown. So
yeah, the crippler is warning him right now, saying he needs more action. Ooh, another hard knee to the body.
Yeah, we got 10 seconds. Let's see if they break and throw a little bit. Josh scored a takedown at the end of the last round. Let's see if he can do it again.
Ooh. Joey needs to stay a little bit more in his emotions. I mean, he's, you know, theoretically, he could be down 2 rounds right now. If I'm him, you know, here's the time where a fighter proves himself. At this point, you just got to bite down on your mouthpiece and go for broke. So you see a little bit of the action right here. A good finish right there on Cervantes. Good outside trip.
Gets his hands behind the hips.
I mean, it's hard right now because while there isn't a whole lot of action, generally the person who's forcing the other person against the cage almost always is winning the fight if there isn't a lot of action going on right now.
Yeah, and like I said, these guys at MMA Personal Training, you know, they have high-level grappling. They have high-level pressure. If Joey, you know, the way that it seems at the end of these rounds, he wants to be heated, he wants to be scrapping with him. Josh isn't going to let that happen. Josh is going to continue to try to close that distance, create that clinch, and work for that double leg or single leg.
So if you're Joey's corner right now, what are you telling him to do?
I'm telling him, hey, Joey, one thing, we got to be ready for that. We got to come out hot.
Nice combo by Joey.
We got to come out ready to go.
Absolutely, fired.
But also being ready for that takedown, because obviously he's shooting.
Cervantes gets caught, and he drives him up against the fence.
Yeah.
Joey can't settle right now. He needs to start bumping. Yeah, nice.
There you go.
Now he needs to separate. He's having success with the punches.
Yep. Needs to. Well, it looks like he wants to shoot
on
for
the
a single leg instead.
Oh, and Cervantes defends it.
Yeah, I would like to see a separation from Joey here.
It's really hard when you've been grappling an entire match to all of a sudden change gears and go to striking. I mean, the confidence a lot of times isn't there.
Yeah, it seems to be that situation because, you know, Joey has to get a knockout here, and generally that doesn't happen from the clinch. A few Muay Thai specialists may be able to get something there, but otherwise, if you want to get a knockout when you're down 2-0, you got to create some space and you got to find something.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially in the amateur ranks in California, there is no knees to the head. You can throw knees to the body, you can throw knees on the ground. Ooh, nice takedown by Josh. But that's the issue with, you know, clinching up. There's just a few little different rule variations for the amateurs just to keep them safe and whatnot.
Yeah, they like to protect these wrestlers. You know, as somebody, fighting in title fights, I think they should abandon those rules in the title fights, you know? Maybe knees to the head in title fights. Elbows, because we're protecting the guys who maybe shouldn't be in there, but, you know, the guys that are in there, I think maybe they should get that opportunity to throw some elbows, throw some knees.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, ooh, Josh finishes a nice takedown. Joey just needs to give everything he's got right now and get his back up off the fence. He needs an underhook with his right arm.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do. We got 1 minute and 10 seconds left, so, you know, Joey's got to kind of go for broke here. And everyone always likes to say they would, but when you're 8 minutes deep into an MMA fight, it's a little bit harder.
Absolutely,
than somebody who's sitting on the side, you know.
Juggling a full-time job, probably family affairs. I mean, these kids are not being paid at this moment, so you know, I mean, there's a lot of working parts. You know, I mean, if I'm Josh, I keep doing this the entire time. I know I got 2 in the bucket, and frankly, Joey hasn't given me a whole lot of solutions to the first 2 rounds of wrestling. So why would I change my game plan?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, especially in MMA.
Absolutely. You know, as I've been asked, oh, what about excitement so you can sell tickets? Well, the coolest thing you can do in MMA is win your fight. With 20 seconds left, Joey's got to go for broke here.
If you can
and he's going for it, swinging for the bleachers.
And that's what we're looking
he needs
for.
to back off.
And smart play by Josh there,
yep.
You know he has to go for broke.
Shoots on the double. If he bumps and rips right now, the fight's over. 10 seconds left.
Wow.
Nice double.
Finishes with a great double leg takedown. Great fight by the 2 competitors.
And a little bit of sportsmanship right there.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that, you know, they calmed it down. Those first 2 rounds, I was a little bit concerned towards the end of the fight, as if that, you know, there was going to be some extracurricular activities. But hats off to both these competitors. What a great third fight, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, you know, it seemed like Joey was initiating both of those, so maybe he was just trying to find an edge.
To see who wins our highly coveted
Which credit
awards, including KO of the night.
As we were speaking in the beginning of the fight, the one thing that I like Cervantes started to do is finish takedowns, but also land ground and pound. You know, Joey just needs to not consent to being against the fence so much. He needs to start shaking his hips side to side, moving his shoulders as well, because it's a lot easier to finish these takedowns if you're just staying stagnant. I mean, again, very easy for a commentator to say, but nonetheless, you know, both these guys have bright futures in front of them.
Of course, yeah. And, you know, Josh is, you know, coming in. He's working his way back. He started 0-3. A couple close fights where I thought maybe he should have gotten the win. And now he's climbed his way back to 2-3. One more fight, he's a 500 fighter, which for a lot of guys who start 0-3, that might be it. So the resilience from Josh here, you know, my man Manaka is just going to be making, he's going to be making waves here soon.
Most definitely. And I mean, most people don't understand this part of fighting, but as far as amateur fights go, upon becoming a professional, your entire amateur career basically doesn't mean anything. You know, no one looks at the amateur career once you have one pro fight. So you theoretically could go, you know, have double-digit losses, very few wins, go pro, and go on a winning streak, and all of a sudden no one cares about what happened as an amateur. You know, it's kind of like a youth record, if you will.
No, I mean, you look at the UFC. Yorgan De Castro, one of the UFC heavyweights who has rallied up a bunch of wins in the UFC, came in as a 3-6 amateur fighter.
Yeah, and I mean...
And then he just started knocking people out at the highest level. So what are you going to do?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I always admire these guys that aren't picking and choosing competitors. You know, I mean, it's hard to come out here going against a guy who may or may not be considerably higher skilled than you, and, you know, you're the underdog and whatnot. But, you know, there's growing in all of these fights. So, you know, as amateurs, I say get as much experience as possible until your coaches say, you know, it's time for you to go pro.
Absolutely. And if you're only taking fights you think you can win, that's not a good recipe for success later down the line.
All right, and we got Carlos Kramer coming up, the Roaring Lion, about to give us the results of this fight.
All right, another great battle tonight at Epic Fighting. This bout, after 3 rounds, goes to the judges' scorecards. Your first 2 judges scores about 29-28, and your last judge scores about 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision, Joshua Cervantes.
You know, as you were saying earlier, I mean, it's a unique relationship when you fought somebody inside these cages. You know, I mean, sometimes you do see a little bit of bitterness, but more times often than not, you know, I mean, there's a level of respect. You know, it's like I punched you in the face, you hit me, you know, you're cool. You know, it's fun.
Especially when you